There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Felix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, I always have a whip in my hand too. Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out to the main gate for a spell. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain a snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the front gate. So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon and returned by that time? I'm not sure if this is really relevant, but what should I do? Well, we will keep pressing. I need answer to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at the time? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a small crowd here. It goes without saying that the snowmobile will heat its engine. If that's still warm, then it means that it had been recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Then, answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't snow on it? Curses! It seems highly likely that the killer used the snowmobile then. How long does it take to get to Duckskip Bridge by snowmobile? In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, there's a reason for that. Have I got a moment for me to explain? I think that is why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch. Yeah, like, I think there was something going on last night again over at her server. Hey, it's fine, Pix. Minus and mods are great. I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Refresh our memory. How long were you locked out for? Like I said, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? Well, it would have been possible time-wise. What element remains out of place here? Oh, and what would this mystery element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma? Ah! Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why did you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? She's over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed a fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, this is surely a problem with his testimony. Now, all I have to do is poke holes in this with its flawed account. Okay, so the thing is though that the weather... this one, and weather report. There's the weather data. Because it was snowing, and there was lightning, and yeah, so it's all wrong. I guess I did not do it right. Oh, it's dumb. I have to present this one first because, ugh, annoying. I'm jumping the gun here. Francisca is adorable, yes, absolutely. I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this is the case, then there naturally should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. Huh. You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to this bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction, does it not? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth, it has to be some pretty heavy snowfall for like the snow to completely erase like snowmobile tracks in what is essentially 10 minutes. That's gonna be some pretty heavy snowfall. Is there a flaw in that theory? Of course there is. Tracks to the river were covered by the snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that's impossible. Would you care to explain? Why is the rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or, so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by the snow. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course. This means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 PM, but it stopped at 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnesses this crime at 11 PM, the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks to made after that time to have been covered up. Order! Order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. BAP! This guy deserves a BAP. And Von Karma obliges me. Thank you. Yes, Bap Pix. Bap her. Do it. Actually... never mind. Yeah, look at that. No, it's like lowercase and lowercase oxy and capital case BAP. It's too soon to be closing the trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Actually, maybe that BAP on Pix was undeserved, but like... Because it's all of yours fault, like her fault, it's like chat's fault, because I see just bad puns everywhere, and like, just like taking everything out of context, it's all your fault, just because you're like making me see all these bad things. Answer me with this then. When is a weather report ever correct? That's why I said it might have been undeserved picks. Because bad is part of it, and I just like, you know, zeroed in on that. Yeah. This is all Tenno's fault and Mina's fault and everyone's fault. You know? No, you got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast, this is actual data. Forecast data. All weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may still have been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 PM. What sort of pizza? Tell us all, Mina, you're on the spot. What sort of pizza do you have? You two picks. I am very curious what toppings are on your pizzas. Where on your pizzas? Oh, I'm disappointed, Pix. Very true. We cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It had stopped snowing at Hazagura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Hey, pepperoni is delicious though. Ha! You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Miles, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? Because we have a witness of the photo of the crime scene. There's no snow on it. Coming from you, Francisca. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If you want to know whether it was snowing or not, well, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the scene of the crime. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Miss Ellis Duxnin. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It has stopped snowing when she was killed, that is why. In other words, if the killer really did go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then this photograph, there should be two sets of tracks. Order! Order! What are you... Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but... This is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone had used a snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. Yes, Pigs. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was. because those tracks were erased by the snow. Yeah, it's like he's taking a page out of Phoenix. Then, when this person returned to Hazagura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There's only one key for the snowmobile. Yeah, that's right, Vix. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder, which can only mean that night, Iris used a snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. Yeah. But the snowmobile cannot cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right, but what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to the temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must just fail to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazagura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know when I saw it, it was covered in snow too. Yep, but that's impossible. Order! Order! Order in the court! What does all this mean? So then, what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If that it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. Yeah, that's exactly it, Pix. But we can't really have the, like, you know, spirit mediums doing channeling and stuff like that in court, because that has bit us in the ass before. And I don't think the court recognizes it, even though it, like, they are vaguely aware that it exists. If that is the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. Yeah, exactly. Maya. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought that a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we'll learn all that we can from this witness. Yes, nothing more to add. Because of the DL6 incident of the first game. That's how Edgeworth is aware of the like possession and stuff like that. I believe. Or maybe he is not aware about the implications of it, but he knows that it exists. But he might not be aware that, like, the mediums are unconscious basically at the time of possession. So there's that. Yeah, he actually explicitly said so. Yes, you're right, Pix. When you say it, yes, he explicitly said it's bullshit. And then he gets this Magatama from Phoenix and is like, I can see people's secrets. There's got to be a scientific explanation for this. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify about having seen a snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking perhaps near the Dusky Bridge that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would be out wandering in that. And we all know an idiot is what we're going to get on the stand. Unless they had something really important to do. That is a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may very well have we're gone wandering out in that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, might just be one individual who may be able to help us. Really? Do you know of someone who might have been seen the snowmobile during the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that come to mind, which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder, and the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he's some kind of idiot. Oh. Yes, Blix, you're spot on. This guy must be the product of Jean-Luc Ladoc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Alice Duxton. A student? Interesting. Yeah, we found an idiot, Your Honor. And why was he wandering out a boat outside on the night of the murder? That's, I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly is it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Yeah, he is a fucking idiot. What else can we need? Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he's in a gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry, you may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. I don't think Franziska has met Larry, because Larry was, Larry was not in the second game as a witness. Why are you saying good? Poor Franziska. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Miss von Karma, please see to the preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Reaction time. Oh yes. Larry will definitely be whipped into shape. Speedrun to get a new drink. Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright. I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night, you really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my room, in the Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night, were you the one who used the snowmobile? There is only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Iris, I can't tell you about that yet. Yet? Not until her safety is confirmed. Her? The safety of the Acolyte. The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Duxnim? No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. As I thought, no Cyclops. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Miles and Mia working together. That would be amazing, yes. The court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. I cannot presume his intention was to capture you. Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse of an artist before the court. Laris Doxnim, I hope you're ready. Get in here. It would seem that that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey, I was just artistically rendering. Ouch! You tried to run away from the bailiff who's trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist training out in the mountains. I'm only down in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, viridian. Larry, this is not an art store, now is it? I know, I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working out in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume who wanted to say field work, I hope. That's it, thanks buddy. It's kind of sad I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I have nothing to do with this trial at all. I expected all your faces to be red when you realized this mistake. Bright red. Or to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ouch! 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 Stop your pathetic blabbering and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. This is too much for me. I was out in the mountain lodge in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy? Witness, please refrain from the talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody. Man, nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have a quite severe inferiority complex. He has recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, Let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank